With Jaafar, you can see how much he cares. That's what makes him so special.
I love challenges, and I wanted to prove to myself, my family, and the filmmakers that I can do this.
When Michael movie trailer dropped in November 2025, people genuinely stopped scrolling. Not because it was a good trailer, because for a split second, and I mean a real split second, people thought they were watching actual Michael Jackson footage. That's not me hyping it up, that's 116 million people hitting play in 24 hours. More than any musical biopic trailer in history. More than Taylor Swift. More than Bohemian Rhapsody. More than all of them. And the guy doing that, he's not a Hollywood veteran. He's not even a trained actor. He's Michael Jackson's nephew. And what he pulled off is genuinely one of the wildest transformations we've seen in entertainment in a long time. But here's the thing most people don't know. Jaafar Jackson didn't just stumble into this role. There's a whole story behind how this happened, and it's way more interesting than the movie itself. Jaafar Jeremiah Jackson was born on July 25, 1996 in Los Angeles. His dad is Jermaine Jackson. Yes, that Jermaine, the Jackson 5 member, the older brother who literally grew up performing alongside the most famous entertainer in history. So from the moment Jaafar was born, the pressure was already there.
I knew how challenging this would be.
The name alone carries a weight most people can't even imagine. Growing up a Jackson means every birthday, every school performance, every time you hum a melody. Someone's comparing you to Michael. That kind of upbringing shapes you in ways you can't fully explain, and it clearly shaped Jaafar in a big way. He started singing and dancing at 12 and even had dreams of becoming a professional golfer at one point, which honestly tells you a lot about him. This wasn't a guy desperately trying to ride his uncle's coattails. He had his own thing going, his own interests. In 2019, he released his debut single, Got Me Singing. Not a massive hit, not a global moment.
I will not stop till I hear you say.
Just a young guy finding his voice, and then everything changed. Producer Graham King had been conducting a worldwide search for someone to play Michael Jackson for this film, and the role was one of the hardest casting challenges in recent Hollywood memory.
I met with Rich and Tone, who are Michael's choreographers, and we were wondering, can Jaafar really do this?
Think about it. You need someone who can sing like Michael, dance like Michael, look like Michael, and somehow carry the emotional weight of a man whose story includes being the greatest entertainer on the planet and one of the most controversial figures in pop culture history. You can't fake that. You can't just hire a good-looking actor and put them in a sequined jacket. King said he met Jaafar over 2 years ago and was immediately blown away by how organically he personified Michael's spirit and personality. And even after that first meeting, the search continued. They looked everywhere. They tested people. But every time, they kept coming back to the same conclusion.
Going through this process of who can play Michael, how do you even start with that? And then, of course, I meet Jaafar Jackson.
Even after conducting a worldwide search, it was clear that he is the only person to take on this role, King said. And honestly, when you see the footage, you understand exactly what he means. The first image that went public in February 2024 genuinely broke people's brains. It showed Jaafar recreating his uncle's iconic man-in-the-mirror performance from the 1992 Dangerous World Tour, shot by Kevin Mazur, the same photographer who captured the actual Michael Jackson tours in the 80s and 90s. Mazur said when he walked onto the set, he felt like he'd gone back in time, walking into the stadium to shoot the original tour. That's not a PR quote, that's a man who was there with a real Michael Jackson saying this kid made him feel like he'd time-traveled.
I never dreamed to be an actor or even thought of playing him, but I knew it was a calling.
The hair, the makeup, the costume, all of it is meticulous, but what's more important is how he carries himself in that image. The posture, the hand placement, the way his weight sits. That's not just a good costume. That's someone who studied every frame, every photograph, every concert recording, and rebuilt Michael's physical presence from the inside out. Director Antoine Fuqua kept talking about something specific when describing Jaafar's performance, and it wasn't about the dancing or the singing. He said it goes beyond the physical resemblance, that it's Michael's spirit that comes through in a magical way. And his co-star Coleman Domingo, too, who plays Joe Jackson and has been acting for decades.
I can tell you that Jaafar Jackson is the truth.